say thank you for joining us to continue fighting for justice. Future generations will say thank you for what you have done now and their lives. So hopefully they have clean air and clean water, and obviously they can live good lives. So Aura, thank you for your leadership. Thank you for leading us on this path. May God be with you. May God be with the entire Hip Hop Caucus team. And may we continue to push on for justice and liberty for all. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Rev, for your wonderful words and for leading us and every day inspiring us with your work and for giving us a place where we can also offer the community to come together so that we can work and addressing, important issues that are happening in this country and in everybody's, community. So I want to continue with our afternoon together. And of course, I would love to also hear from you. If you can introduce yourself and share in the chat your name, where you're from or where you live, where you're locating right now, where you're zooming in from, and what's keeping you busy. So that we can get an idea of what are some of the places that are, speaking and coming to the call and just sharing your energy. Let me see if I see anybody on the chat. Oh, exciting. Okay, so as people are trickling in, just don't forget to share your name and your location and just also share with us what's keeping you busy. All right, we see somebody from Douglasville, Georgia, Arlington, Texas, Charlotte, North Carolina, New Orleans. Let me see, North Carolina, Washington, D.C. All right, Houston, Texas, New Orleans, Pennsylvania, Los Angeles. Hi. Filmmakers from Hyattsville, Texas. Erin, fighting climate crisis. Okay, let's go. A lot of excitement in the chat. So keep sharing your name and where you're from or where you live and what's keeping you busy. We would love to, to hear from you as we move forward with the presentation. Okay, so as you're introducing yourselves, I wanted to just share a little bit about why we're here today. And Respect My Vote is where we turn culture into power. This is our first national call and is our starting line. And this is a space to learn about voting, to dismantle misinformation, to build community with people who got your back, and pick up the skills to fight for what our communities needs. This is a place where we're building a movement and we're building a movement together. So again, we're learning skills. You're going to find your people here. You're going to claim your power. And of course, you're going to roll with 18 years of Hip Hop Caucus turning culture into power experience. Okay, now I'd like to introduce Terrence T.C. Muhammad, who is our events and field coordinator for the Hip Hop Caucus. And he's going to share with all of you who the Hip Hop Caucus is. Take it away.
Man, look, I'm excited. I don't know what y'all energy, but we about to take it up a little bit because you at the Hip Hop Caucus, and I don't think you understand hip hop is the largest genre of music in the world. So we turn up the whole world. So who are we? Man, please. We are the beat of a movement. We fight for climate, racial, and economic justice. We fight for all of that, right? And guess what, y'all? Y'all may not know it. We ain't new to this. We true to this. The Hip Hop Caucus, as Reverend Gill was saying, is about to turn 22 years old. But our Respect My Vote campaign just turned 18. so we can vote. Respect My Vote campaign has turned 18. So we want all those that are turning 18 and is past 18 to get out and join us. Pledge to vote. So this is what we are. We are about making people informed, the hip, and we want to make people move to the hop. And we're the caucus. We're going to do it together. So we're here to inform. We're here to get you to move. We're getting ready to do it together. We'll make sure that we're getting to these polls. But how do we do that? That's the question. We are the Hip Hop Caucus, a national nonprofit organization, but how do we do our work? Man, we got so many campaigns that we can get you involved in. What you want to do? You want to learn about economic justice? We can get your money right. We can get your money right. You want to learn about clean air, clean water, because we all got to breathe clean air. We all got to drink that good water. You know what I'm saying? And I know we got some marches out there for rallies and protests. So we are into social justice. And we are from the streets to the suites. So we in the hood with our people in the community, but we also on Capitol Hill. But we got a bunch of campaigns and we advocate, but we use our cultural expressions to shape our political experience. So we use our hip hop artists, we use the singers, the painters, everybody that uses their cultural expression to make this work and these campaigns grow, because we want you to understand it. And that's how we do it, and we do it through storytelling. We want to let you know, look, there was a song in the early 70s of hip hop called The Message. And we're trying to get the message to the people. So you may not like politics, but we're gonna throw some politics and some lyrics. We're gonna tell a story. We're gonna do documentary. We got an underwater project that we've done. We do things so you can see the visual expression of what we're talking about. So the Hip Hop Caucus is that beat, is that movement. I don't know why you need to go anywhere else. This is the place to be. Come on, join with the Hip Hop Caucus. We're national. We're all over the place. Matter of fact, we actually global. So if you're somewhere else checking us out, come on and join. Help join this work. Get with the campaigns. Tell your story. Use your culture. This is the Hip Hop Caucus. Respect my vote.
All right, that's the kind of energy I needed to feel right now. Thank you, TC, so much for bringing it on. Thank you so much. Yes, and I think at this point we need to kind of dismantle all the ideas that we have about voting and get our communities and make this process fun and make this process accessible and make it so that everyone in our community can, be part of it. And we have somebody very special with us tonight, Shake the Poet. He will be giving us a little bit about inspiration through his spoken word. He's an artist. You can check him out on IG at Shake the Poet and learn more about what he does. I want to welcome him right now to the stream and to this Zoom call so that he can introduce himself and bless us with his some of his artistic poetry.
Peace and blessings, everybody. Peace and blessings. Yeah. How y'all doing?
Good.
All right, let me turn my camera on here. So I'm gonna get right into it. Do you know why they dread locks? In fear we may band two knots, bolas, fist, arm ourselves. Do not fret, for even in death we are not done yet. Eliminate threat. We must protect. Senegal, do a man's job, never back down. The king lost his crown the moment he sat down. Rise like roots snapped from the earth, it hurts. Like hanging fruit, they aim and shoot. Endanger our youth, proof that my melanin made my mother a martyr, my father forgotten. In the name of Jesus, crossing T's for every I they've dotted, abusing our benevolence, our kindness for a weakness. Conventional turn the other cheek while they peek at which side cuts the deepest. You can't dream of better if you don't know what sleep is. Stay woke. That be the mantra. We do the Contra. We be the Somali, the Mongo, the Congo. We be the Igbo, the Hausa, the Hosa, the Fulani, the Mande, the Sandawi, and we be everywhere. Our hair, strong, Like backbones and callous foot soles, we've marched, the starving and the parched with broken hearts. We've bled art, cried music, sweating bullets to have our work turned against us, drenched us in blood and lives, turned us against our loved ones, watched as we killed ourselves. This has become hell, and God is not responsible for this creation. See, they gave us the savior after they created the Satan. See, dark is to light, like pray is to fight, like wrong is to right. We tend to forget that read is to write, like key is to kite. If you reach high enough, there's power above those towers. Cowards know, so they keep you slow, stupid, foolish. You don't know what to do with. You find it and lose it. You steal it, reward you with gold caps to chew with. Your value ain't as priceless as your life is until you're lifeless. Pray for your silence, cooperation as their corrupt invasions co-opt our nations. Agreed upon enslavements like not voting, just
Mm.
hoping, praying loud is like laying down. So lay it down or pick it up. Afros, we're sun rays, waves, we sunbathe, we're sunmade. Since they made it this strain, they made us strange. We've been conditioned into submission. It's all a sham, Pooh. Convinced you it's a friendship just before they scam you. And we forgive death more than they forgive debt. We don't return fire by wasting racist breaths. We just tend to forget. We forget. You know why they dread locks? Because they watch us struggle to escape the shackles they've made, and they're too afraid to catch this fade. Peace and blessings.
Wow. I want to see all the little snaps, 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 snaps in the chat. Thank you so much for that. Shake the Poet. We appreciate you. Thank you so much for sharing with you your art and your inspiration. This is gonna be an
Yes,
incredible
ma'am. Thanks for having me.
an incredible time together. So thank you so much for being part of this. All right, so let's keep going, you all. And I want to just introduce the team at the Hip Hop Caucus, the campaigns and advocacy team. We're going to hear next from Jasmine Gill, Stefan Cower, and Christy Dayemo. They all lead many different campaigns, and I encourage you to learn more about, who they are and what they do. Jasmine and Estefan are going to be leading our next part, which is, what kind of work do we do here at the Hip Hop Caucus and our campaigns and advocacy. So, Stefan, you want to take it away first?
Sure, why not? Like, my name is Stefan Coward. I am the Director of Economic Justice here at Hip Hop Caucus. I want to speak about two campaigns that are really personal to me. First, starting with Justice Paid in Full. In this platform, we use our collective economic power to be able to change where the money flows so every family gets a real shot at a good life. We're talking about organizing to get these banks to divest from these fossil fuels, mass incarceration, creating new pathways to invest in community-based efforts, promoting investment in our institutions. This affordability crisis has authors. We talk about housing, energy, insurance, credit. None of that got expensive by accident. Somebody wrote those rules. They're letting the system profit off of our back. And they're counting on you to forget those somebody's work for us. So with Justice Paid in Full, we're using this platform to talk about how we can move capital back where it belongs, our communities, our businesses, our blocks. And right now we have people in office who are holding our who are not holding, let me be clear, not holding our financial institutions accountable to their community reinvestment obligations to us. We have elected officials turning a blind eye to redlining in our communities. So we have an opportunity to tell these folks, respect my vote for leaders who will pass laws that expand access to capital, not just for the ones who are in the right zip codes or the ones with the right connections. This November, we have an opportunity to vote for an economy that works for all of us. This is a direct way to hold these authors accountable. Vote like your neighborhood depend on it. That's how I'm feeling right now. Vote for real consumer protections. Vote for jobs and wages that cover the rent, mortgages, and groceries. All of it. All of it. And that takes me to Good Trouble. Good Trouble is the watchdog. over this culture's most pressing civil and human rights, from criminal justice to immigration, healthcare, education, and so much more. We know that this fight is urgent as ever, given how fast extremism is moving through our political landscape right now. We're watching federal, state, local, municipalities expand their footprint into our communities in ways that could put our civil liberties and our lives at risk. I feel like when I think about this work, it really connects to what I do, because militarized policing and mass incarceration, these are two sides of the same system. One polices our communities, the other profits off of locking us up. You can't fully fix one without confronting the other one. And we have an opportunity to be able to create real safety, a shared public good that we can build and vote on together. You know, lastly, I'm going to tell you is, like, when it comes to this work that we have here, we have an opportunity to get support for mental health services, education, economic opportunity. These things are all on the ballot. And good trouble is how we get information to challenge these systems, nonviolently, persistently, and together. Like, watch for the calls that we have. We're going to keep showing up, because this fight touches every part of the movement we're building. And I'm going to pass it to Jasmine.
Thank you so much, Stefan. So great to be in community with you all tonight. Thank you so much for being here, because as Stefan has been integrating through his words and trying to share with you all, is that all these issues are intersectional. We know that you all experience these issues all at once. They don't come to us one at a time, which is why Hip Hop Caucus does this work the way that we do it and over the issue areas that we do it in. Hello, everyone. My name is Jasmine Gill. I lead the climate and environmental justice work at the caucus, which is known as, I think, 100% work. As Stefan was already saying, all these issues, they're really causing severe harm to us as individuals, to our families, to our communities. And that's exactly what's happening with the environmental issues that we focus on at the caucus, right? They're not only harming our pockets through the economic work that Stefan is countering, and also harming our communities through some of these poor civil human rights issues that we're seeing all the time in our communities. But now they're harming us through polluters and polluting our communities and killing us, and impacting our health on a daily basis, and impacting our family's ability to go to and from work and just to have thriving livelihoods. And so what we do at the caucus through our Think 100% work is hold those polluters accountable, not only stop the bad, but build the good. What are the alternatives to this, right? And those alternatives can improve our economy. Those in turn alternatives can improve our wallets as community members. Those alternatives don't have to mean putting money in the pockets of the very people that are polluting us. And that leads us to the umbrella of how we do this work, which is why we're all here tonight. Respect my vote. This work is about protecting the voting and democracy ability of every single person on this call and beyond. The ability for us to choose champions who are doing right by us and by our communities, and helping our wallets, helping keeping our communities healthy, giving us clean air, giving us thriving lives, and the ability to remove people who are not doing so. And so that is why we're here tonight with Respect My Vote. And I really appreciate you all being here to invest in that conversation, which is one of the reasons why, if we can go to that next slide, I would love to hear from you all one word as to the reason why you're invested in this conversation tonight and what issues are actually concerning you all. For me, it's actually a word that Stefan said earlier, which is affordability. It is getting too hard to live and to have the very basic needs that we need to just exist every single day. Stefan, I'm wondering for you, is there a word for you that really stands out, the reason why you're so invested in this year's election?
Access. We
Thank you.
deserve the access.
We absolutely do. So we would love to hear from y'all. If you could text us, or you could scan that QR code in the bottom corner. And if you don't have your phone ready available, we know some of y'all are in cars listening to us. You may be going to and from. You could visit a website called slido.com and text in this code at the bottom of the screen, 9867245. And we love to hear that one word. Or I see some people dropping in the chat as well. Engagement, overcoming apathy. Thanks y'all for dropping some. We really want to know what things really are driving you, because every year is an election year, not just this year. I'll pass it back to Otter.
Thank you so much. And as you guys start writing your words, and let me bring back the screen. Oh, I see some words kind of trickling in. Again, this is you can go back and what is the issue that most concern for you right now? In one word, what is the issue that you can that is more pressing for you, that has been in your heart, you can visit slido.com and type 9867245, or you can just scan this code with your phone. Just open your phone, scan the code, and also we just added on the chat to go to Slido and type it there so that we can see. Let's see what the word cloud is looking. Okay, folks. Okay, we got 3 words. We got free healthcare. We need more words. All the people, Janet, Swift, if you can go to Slido and type your word, mobilization. Christine, we want to see your word here, sanity. DJ Chandler, please join us here in the Slido and add your justice word. Janet, put your engagement word. Let's see what else. Rights, I see Christine typing rights. I see affordability. Ooh, okay. I see some people talking about global warming or climate change, Ruth. So here we have the QR code if you can grab your phone. But if you are on your phone watching here, you can also go to slido.com and type 9867245 and add your word. It's not super hard. So you can be part of this word cloud that we're trying to put together here for all of us to see. Some people care about children's future. Of course, we care about our families and our future. Oh, I see some people type climate justice. I love it. Paul, if you can add inclusion. Oh, to people with affordability. All right. Yeah. Gas prices are high right now. So as you see, as the word keeps like expanding, this is probably one of the main words that people are choosing right now, that are typing. So you can go to Slido here in the screen.com. If you're watching us from any of our social media channels, you can do that too. Paul, we're waiting for you on Slido. There's also a QR code that you can use and add your inclusion to the word cloud. I see people trickling in, typing. Amazing. Well, we just wanted to hear a little bit from you and get the pulse about what's been in your heart. And I think it's really great to see people sharing on the chat and also, talking about it here in this call. And as we see the word cloud developing. Can you guys see the word cloud now? Yes? Okay, amazing. Okay, awesome. Beautiful, beautiful. Okay, so thank you so much for everybody that participated in our making our word cloud and sharing a little bit about what matters. I'm not surprised that affordability became like the biggest word for us, as we created this together. We would definitely be talking a lot more about that in future calls, and I hope that you can join us in the future as we hosting these phone calls to kind of learn more and get better educated about voter rights and making voting about our friends, our community, making it fun, making it accessible for everybody, and making a plan to vote early. I know it's August and people are just kind of going back to school, but this is the perfect time to start thinking about this because November It's going to trickle in very quickly. Okay, so moving forward, I want to pass it back to Jasmine, where she's going to share a little bit about where we are or have been focusing on building power. And if you are calling from any of the other places that we might not touch upon today, do not worry, because of course our reach is national, but our work is mighty and focus in a few places. So Jasmine, take it away.
Thanks, Ada. And just to, reiterate to you all, this is about the same fight everywhere. This is about clean air. This is about lower bills and safe communities and our power to decide the future within these states. So if you see here, the burgundy states that you see on the screen, those are what's called our priority states. That is Georgia, Louisiana, Michigan, Ohio, Pennsylvania, and Texas. Those are the states where you're probably going to see our team the most. You're going to see us be most activated in those states. This is where we have the most projects and programs that we're running on the ground. And across the board, no matter if it's a priority or a power building state, we are heavily invested in community, always community centered first, listening first, and how we build the work with community together. And with that being said, that's the same for our power building states, which is Alabama, California, Mississippi, North Carolina, and Virginia, West Virginia, and also Wisconsin. These are the states in which we're planting those deep roots. We have been for many years. We're growing local leaders, and we're invested. But you all know that we can't be everywhere at once as much as we would love to be. But this is predominantly where our work lies. And so, with that being said, as Aldo mentioned, if you do not see your state highlighted here, that doesn't mean we don't do the work within your state. That just means that we're working on building up in that state. We're working on something that's a little bit less of a programmatic priority for us. But either way, we're there. Respect My Vote is still a part of your work. Voting in democracy is still a huge piece of what we do within every single state. And so you're still a part of Respect My Vote nonetheless. With that, I'll pass it off to Christy, who's going to talk a little bit more about what some of that state work looks like on the ground.
Thank you so much, Jasmine. Hey, everybody. Once again, my name is Christy Diemo. I'm the Think 100% campaigns manager. And for this week on the ground, we're going to be talking about utility justice. Utility justice is a movement of communities demanding justice from utility companies and their regulators who are profiting off of energy at the expense of climate-impacted communities. So what does this look like across the country? We're seeing a few different trends. First, we're seeing increasing utility rates. What does that mean? That means that most people across the country are paying more for their electricity this year than they were last year. Second, we're seeing a lot less grid reliability. Our grid infrastructure is really old and it needs a lot of updates. And at the same time that we're seeing that our grid needs to be updated, there's a huge increase in energy demand. And this is creating things like rolling blackouts that we're seeing across the country, which is pretty much just what we mean by less grid reliability. You're not getting the power that you need. And then the third thing that we're seeing is the proliferation of data centers. We're seeing data centers pop up all across the country. And that's going to create more problems with our utility rates and our grid reliability because data centers require a lot of energy. And these data centers are being propped up through non-disclosure agreements and sweetheart deals that are being brokered between the data centers and utility companies, our public service commissions, and even local governments. And then lastly, we're seeing captured utility commissions. A captured utility commission pretty much just means that our public utility commission is not working for the people like it's supposed to be. It's working for private interests. So I want to talk a little bit about what we're doing on the ground to fight these trends and to fight for utility justice. So in Michigan, we have a campaign that we've been working on called Michiganders for Money Out of Politics. It's a community-led ballot measure to ban utility money in politics, which is really important in Michigan because historically, the utility companies have used dark money to influence elections to be more favorable for their profits and not for the public good. And this campaign just reached an incredible goal. They got 350,000 signatures certified, which means that now it is eligible for the November ballot. So if you're in Michigan, please make sure that you are registered to vote and vote to get money out of politics. We've also been doing work in Georgia, and recently we got news that a new data center contract with OpenAI is moving really quickly through the Georgia Public Service Commission. And actually, if there is not a decision made by the Georgia Public Service Commission by August 26th to object to that contract, that contract is just going to be considered approved. And this is really concerning because this data center is going to require twice as much energy as any other data center in Georgia. So it's really, really important that you go ahead and you contact the Georgia Public Service Commission and you demand no to the contract for that data center. And on top of that, there are 2 Public Service Commission seats that are on the ballot this November. So if you're located in Georgia, please register to vote. Go out and vote for public service commissioners that are fighting for the people, that are working for the people, and they are not working for data centers.
Thank you so much, Christy, for all that information. And, one of the purposes of this week on the ground, as we have these calls with all of you, is to inform you about what are some of the local fights so that you can get inspired. You can get ideas maybe to start, an effort in your own community. And you start also seeing what's at stake in terms of why are we voting this year and why this matter and why we have to connect with our neighbors and our friends and our classmates and our colleagues and start making voting a thing that is for everyone and it's happening every day and at all times. And it's not just in November when we see it in the news, but it's something that where we make a plan and also it's part of our DNA and it's part of our family and it's part of our like our chicken and kitchen, conversations and backyard conversations all the time. So I wanted to ask you guys, moving next, how many people know if they are registered to vote? So let me know in the chat. You can also put a little heart emoji. I believe we have heart emojis in this Zoom. But if you know that you're registered to vote, put a little heart in the comments. Let me see the hearts. Let me see. No shame here. If you're not registered, it's fine. It's totally fine. Okay, I'm seeing some hearts. I'm loving the hearts. Let me see who is register. That who knows that they're registered. Okay. All right. Well, a lot of you still haven't posted a heart in the chat. So I'm assuming that you are maybe still unsure if you are registered to vote, or maybe you moved very recently, or you changed paperwork, maybe you changed your name for whatever reason that you might be unsure. There are some very easy ways to find out if you are registered to vote. Right now in the screen, we have a QR code that you can snap your phone and take you can open your picture app and scan this QR code. And this QR code is going to take you to respectmyvote.com. And you can choose there to put your address and check if you are registered to vote. And in this screen right now, we also see respectmyvote.com, which is awesome. You can also see it on the chat if it's easier for you. Now, if you have your phone right now, let's just practice this. Everybody with their phones ready. If you have your phone ready, you can open your phone, go to your texting app, and text. You're going to start a new message. And in that message, you're going to type 79591. 79591. That's going to be the phone number or the address that you're sending this to. And then in the body of the text, you're going to type vote. And then you're going to click send. And that's going to give you more resources about Respect My Vote. And, it's going to tell you, welcome to the Hip Hop Caucus. Thanks for joining us. And it's going to give you a link where you can sign in case you forget, or in case you want to, maybe check some other stuff. So here is what the Respect My Vote website can offer. We are 18 years old now, ready to vote. and you can register to vote here, you can pledge to vote, and you can check your registration. So you can do all those things through our website. And again, if you are not registered, no shame. But I think what I would like to see today is for you to promise to give me 2 names on the chat. You don't need to give me full names. Think about 2 people in your community, in your family, your neighbor, your boyfriend, your ex-wife, whoever it is, your colleague, that you can call today and say, hey, are you registered to vote? Are you ready? So that you can share these resources with them. So you can say, if you don't know, you should check out respectmyvote.com. And I think it's also here on the chat, respectmyvote.com. You can also text vote 79591. And I think Jarrell is sharing those resources also with you guys. We have a QR code. Just open your phone camera app, scan the code, and check your registration. So how many people in the audience have checked their registration so far? Let me know in the comments. How many people here are checking the registration or maybe registering right now or pledging? We got some attendees. Let me know if you have been checking. Okay, Elijah Sanchez, not the ex. But yes, I'm 100% sure I am. My sibling and his wife, as I know, they do not vote. Voting doesn't do anything. I'm glad you're bringing that up. I will continue until they vote. And we appreciate you so much. And at some point, we are going to be in some of our next calls, we are going to be talking about what are some of the things that we can do to appeal to our friends and family that say vote doesn't matter or vote is not for me or those people don't do anything. You know, how do we address those things? What do we say? Do we give up? Do we continue? And what are some of the strategies that we can deploy with our friends and family that can be helpful as we move forward in recruiting people and bringing people into the voting world and getting them more accustomed to vote. And I can tell you something, Elia, we got to make voting a little more exciting and a little more fun and something that is part of our work all the time. Okay, so Joey Almond is saying, I'm registered to vote. I vote at every opportunity that is available. We appreciate that so much, Joy. Thank you so much for doing that. And I would love for you to also share in the chat if you have 2 people in mind that you are going to try to help them either register to vote or get them to make a pledge, to vote, or how we get them to really get excited about this election season. So, okay, so here are the resources. The resources are also in the chat. I've been trying to put some stuff in the chat, but it doesn't allow me. But you guys see it here on the screen. You can scan with your phone the QR code. You can go to respectmyvote.com. You can text vote to 79591 to make a pledge, to check your registration, to register to vote in your state. So this is a really great resource for you to share with your friends and your family. Okay, so now this is the time where we have a little bit of a group discussion. And again, as we may become online to speak about some of our impressions about the afternoon and what we think, I just like to remind you that we want to keep this conversation about the purpose of today's call, which is build community, get a better sense of what are we going to do regarding voting, understand the issues that are moving us towards the polls, and some personal, experiences that you might want to share. So if you want to, right now, if you wish to speak, please raise your hand, your virtual hand, and we will ask you to unmute, and you can come to this portion of the conversation and the Q&A. I see some questions in the chat too. But if you want to speak right now, if you want to share some of like your impressions about the day and the call, you can please feel free to raise your hand. DJ, do you want to come online and ask your question? You can just raise your hand so the moderator can unmute you. I see a couple of questions here. Or Patrick, if you're still with us.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes. Can you please
All right.
introduce yourself? Hi.
Right. Hi. So a little techno challenged with doing all of this by way of the phone. So I was having problems following all the instructions. But hi, I'm Deborah Chandler. I live in Powder Springs, Georgia, Congressional District 14, which is formerly Marjorie Taylor Greene's district. And now we have Clay Fuller. Sean Harris is running. But I'm also a part of I am the political action chair for the West Metro branch of the NAACP.
All right.
And thank you. And so our former state president, Attorney Gerald Griggs, posted some data, whereas the demographic of voters between the ages of 18 to 49 had like a very low 1% voter turnout, and ages 50 and above, of course, had a much higher voter turnout. So it seems, ages 50 plus understand the assignment, the demographic 18 to 49, not so much. So I've been trying to put a focus group together, try to get some youth within or people within that age group to try to do a study and all the things. Nothing has been working. So my question is that somewhere in the plan of your organization, some sort of way to reach and mobilize the 18 to 49 demographic, because it's been very, very low? Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for that question. Gen Z and the younger side of community is definitely a base that we have been trying to develop. I think that it's important to understand, and I'm sure that as you do your focus group, you will find out that people move out of their own self-interest, what matters to them. It's not surprising to me that, older people would, vote at a higher rate because, they see things affecting them kind of more palpable, right? And they're oftentimes either retired, they have a little more time. Young people are still trying to find themselves in the cause and in the work. One of the issues that really young people resonate with are issues of like climate change and such. And also a lot of the immigration stuff, a lot of the topics that a lot of times we don't really touch about, even the wars happening right now around the country. So we have a pretty robust, breadth of work around those communities, also utilizing storytelling and arts and culture as is something that we do traditionally here at the Hip Hop Caucus really well. So I see TC with his hand up, and you can unmute TC and also share a little bit about your impressions and what do you think about our plan to address young voters?
Yeah, so the Hip Hop Caucus, our demographics is the 18 to 40 generation. This is the hip hop generation, and just kind of give us historical context. We, like I said earlier, we're from the streets to the suites, and we actually go to where the people are. So we've been on college campuses, and in '08, one of our spokespersons was T.I., in 2012, Two Chains, 2016, Charlamagne the God from the Breakfast Club. We've used artists, and we've gone on tour with Snoop Dogg and Wiz Khalifa and their voter registration in these locations. We've been all over, and that's what we are striving to do right now. One of the things for us, we don't just see politics in the presidential election, we see it as an everyday. So we always connect young people where they are. And also, we also are looking at young people and encouraging young people, if you don't like what you see, to run for office and get involved in the political process. So when we talk about respect my vote, it's just not about going to the polls, getting registered to go vote. We're engaging them around the issues that concern the young people, and everything about life and politics is going to affect them. Because one of the things we know about young people love to demonstrate. They love to take to the streets. But this is
Mhm.
one thing that Reverend Yearwood has always said for us. He said, demonstration without legislation leads to frustration. So we can
Mhm.
demonstrate all we want, but if we don't take that demonstration and that energy to change the legislation, the policies, and not just from a federal, state, and local. So we always get young people because we know the power of young people. We know the power of energy. That's why we use culture, because our young people are in culture. So they may not understand everything that's said, but they understand some lyrics. They understand a painting. They understand a song. They understand a documentary. So we are uniquely the niche. We are uniquely the organization that touches that demographic, that age range, and we go to where they are. We're not scared to go to where our young people are and where they're in the places that they're at to actually reach and touch them. So that we're actively trying to do that and actively engage in those places because every young person is trying to get the bag. So that's why we talk about economic justice. Everybody is trying to, understand what's going on in the politics, and we make sure that we, like I said, reach them where they are. So we've been doing this for years.
Thank you so much, Terence, for that answer. I couldn't say it better. I hope, DJ, that we get to work with you. We know that to change everything, we need everyone. And we would
Yeah,
love to find ways to collaborate and to work with you also as we, enter this election season.
absolutely. Can you still hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Oh, okay, awesome. Yes, thank you. So I wasn't sure. So thank you so much for the responses. Thank you, TC. I love all of that. And I also, Janice Swift is on this call as well. We work with the League of Women Voters in our area. We represent 4 counties, and she actually works with the elections office for Douglas County, Georgia. So we're very involved in the community. We're me personally. I'm involved in about 4 nonpartisan organizations, and I'm going to include you all now, one partisan organization. But yeah, it- it's so needed the education because the current climate landscape is to take away education. They want more of an uneducated voter, and we have to continue to do what we need to do to educate the voters. And even in I have children and I have grandchildren, and even in trying to live the example, set the example, tell the stories, give the understanding. I I I have found literally that I don't have that influence, or whether the influence of, oh yeah, we're going to get a check, or he's going to all the false promises and the fake promises. They're still believing it, and well, they believed it, and now they're seeing that that's all it was. You know what I mean? The hindsight is 2020. The damage is being done. But I still have a lot of family members that's it's mind blowing to me. how this is all happening. So we're doing all the things, but at the same time, I just feel like we're still missing, but we're getting who we can get. We're doing all we can do, which is put the information out there, make it available, give them the resources so that when the day comes, when their eyes open and they're impacted, we can say, well, we saw this coming, one rocket science, but we're glad you're here now.
Absolutely. And we're so glad you're here. And we
Thank you.
hope that we see you on the next one.
Okay.
We feel exactly the same. And for everyone that is watching today, we're going to have these calls every other week because we know it's going to take a little bit of more conversation, a little bit of more engagement, and it's going to take a space where we can all return to and talk about ideas and strategize together and figured out what to do and how to make a plan to vote. And I absolutely agree. We got to get better educated. We got to educate our neighbors and our families. And there's a lot of people out there feeling like voting is not for them and it doesn't do anything. And there is not a better messenger than you to tell them incorrect. Voter matters, and this is the time to do it. And especially if you want to take on the streets, voting is probably one of the most powerful forms of collective action that we can have, and individual action. So we want to invite you on September 1st. We will be back. If you are in the East Coast, it's at 9 p.m. If you're in the Western region of the United States, we'll be back at 6 p.m. You can RSVP with the link that you're seeing on the screen, and that's HHC, hiphopcaucus.fyi/RMB. And you also have a QR code here that you can utilize also to register to our next call. So don't forget, mark your calendar, make a plan, save the day for September 1st as we'll be back and probably with teaching you some skills and resources that you can have so that you can make a better plan to vote and that we can reach all the voters, as many voters as we can get together. Okay, so I'm going to stop my screen right now. This is where we take a picture because, we're sentimental. We like to have some memories here at the Hip Hop Caucus. So if you can please, if you feel comfortable and compelled, please turn on your screen so that we can snap it up and keep it for the memories because this is our first 2026 Respect My Vote national call, where we basically kind of introduce who we are to you and hope that you can roll with us moving forward to some fun stuff. We haven't even gone halfway. Guys, you don't even know what we have reserved for you. It's actually quite exciting. We're going to be going to Texas. We're going to be going to Michigan. So if you out there, just stay tuned because this is just about to start. So I'm going to stop my screen. There we go. I'll let Jarrell probably is going to be the one taking the picture. So you let us know at the count of 3. So please, if you still have 2 seconds to turn on your camera so you can be part of our picture and be part of this moment with us. Okay, so 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, let's go.
All set.
All right. Okay. So now that we went to picture time, I want to just remind you how you guys can get involved. So you can text us, vote at 7951 for all things Respect My Vote, to check your registration, to register to vote, to make a pledge to vote. You can also learn more about our work. We had our whole team here. We're just missing one incredible Dr. White that she wasn't with us today, but she's leading the charge in so many places with our advocacy. You can go to hiphopcaucus.org and learn more about what we're about. We couldn't do this work without you, and the movement that we're building together also needs all the resources you can get. So if you feel compelled and if you want to donate, you can also go to hiphopcaucus.org and donate, and any dollar is so greatly appreciated. as little as much as you can. We'll be so grateful for your support. All right, so this is it, you all. Thank you so much for coming. I'll see you on September 1st. Don't forget to make a plan, and we'll see you here. And if you want to reach us, we have our socials. You can reach out to us and via text if you were able to text and add a vote at the Respect My Vote link. We can also be in touch there. So I think this is it. Let me see what's going on in the chat for the last minutes. Yes, yes, yes. Thank you so much. Thank you all for coming. Thank you all for coming. Thank you. And we'll see you on the 1st. Bye-bye.